Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Madash, and double honors unto our elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Shalom, shalom. All right. And this is Brother Nabala here with another lesson. All right. And, as you can see the title, all right, it says gold and silver, boom, what to know before you sell. All right. But, the point is that, gold and silver skyrocketing right now. All right. And so, we know, all right, that, is associated, all right, with, the collapse of the dollar, all right, which, I'm going to get into. All right. So, I'm just going to play this quick video, get into some things from ChatGPT, all right, that I looked up, and then we'll get into some scriptures. All right.
Price of gold surged to a record price above $5,000 per ounce, presenting a way for consumers to make some quick extra cash.
Yeah, we're talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars instantly. Our Nydia Hahn is here to explain.
We were joking earlier about gold bars. You don't need anything like that,
okay.
Anything that big. Even just small pieces can make you a lot of money. We tried this.
Salakia, and the scriptures tell you that, roughly paraphrasing, that silver and gold. Matter of fact, let's get that. What is that scripture? Prophet in the day of wrath. Slakia, let me get that real quick. Let me see. This is Proverbs 11:4, and it says right here, it says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but the righteous delivereth from death. All right, this is an NLT. It said riches won't help you. It said riches won't help on the day of judgment, but right living can save you from death. All right, so it don't matter, what riches you have. It doesn't matter how much you could buy gold for, all right, or how much you sell gold for. It doesn't matter. It's not going to profit you, all right, especially on the day of judgment, all right, when Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai judges this place and brings forth, all right, those ICBM missiles, all right, that's that's not going to help you at all, all right. It's not going to help you at all. Are you still going to get destroyed?
Price of gold surged to a record price above $5,000 per ounce, presenting a way for consumers to make some quick extra cash.
Yeah, we're talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars instantly. Our Nydia Hahn is here to explain.
We were joking earlier about gold bars. You don't need anything like that,
okay.
Anything that big. Even just small pieces can make you a lot of money. We tried this ourselves, taking gold and silver jewelry to various places, and cha-ching, wait until you see the jaw-dropping amounts we were offered to sell. Now, as you mentioned, gold prices have now crossed beyond the $5,000 per ounce mark for the first time right now at $5,100. So far this year, the price has risen 15%. That is a historic rally, building on a record-breaking year in 2025 when prices skyrocketed 65%. And the price of silver has more than doubled in the last couple of months. So think about cashing in. That's what Linda Jacobs of Mount Laurel, New Jersey did. She gathered some old jewelry and coins from her mom's house that she says were in a, quote, big box of junk. Then she went to sell it, going to 3 different places to see who would give her the most money.
And these guys gave me a way better price.
I inherited a couple years.
Yeah, Linda got a way better price, a whopping $700 better.
So she went back to the same dealer to sell more pieces and watch what happens.
The total for today comes out to $5,782.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I take that too. Now, the sign says currency and coins, or coins and currency, but the official name is Cherry Hill Coins, Jewelry, and Gold. The owners here tell me that in the last 4 months, business has been booming. They used to get about 20 people a day, now they get about 50 people a day, and they caution, do some homework before you go someplace to sell.
Yeah, look at the Google reviews. You gotta make sure they're trustworthy. Know what you have.
Now, Mike says be suspicious if a retailer takes your items to the back. Instead of checking them out right in front of you, also be wary of traveling gold dealers.
All right, so the point of this video, all right, that I'm trying to get here, it is, this is clearly, the collapse of the dollar. All right, when you see gold and silver booming like that, all right, because that's pretty much the only thing, all right, that's attached, all right, to this fiat currency, all right. So with that, the dollar, is consistently being printed out, all right, which is going to cause hyperinflation, all right. So that's we're clearly seeing inflation, all right, soon to be hyperinflation, all right. We're seeing these things, taking place right in front of our eyes, all right, and you know um that just goes to show you, all right, that Babylon the Great, all right, is on the decline. This place is through, all right. So let's go here to Chat GBT, all right, and I typed it in real quick. Salakia, it resets every time. I don't understand why. All right, so it says, what does it mean for the economy if gold is 5,000 per ounce, right? It says if gold ever hits 5,000 per ounce, all right, which it did, all right, it said it would be just another price move. It would be a loud signal that something is seriously wrong with the global economic system, all right. What it means depends on why it got there, but there's the clear breakdown, right? Number one, it says it signals loss of confidence in the fiat money. It says gold doesn't go up because it's doing better. It goes up because paper money is doing worse. You see, it goes up because paper money is doing worse. All right, because they're consistently, printing these bills, man. It says that $5,000 an ounce. It says markets would be saying the dollar is being debased, right? It says central banks are printing aggressively. It says trust in governments and debt is eroding. All right. Habakkuk 2:6-7 says, woe to him that ladeth himself thick clay. All right, and that thick clay, represents that debt. All right, so obviously, in Habakkuk 2:6-7, all right, it's going to get to a point, all right, where that debt is going to cause, this economy, all right, to collapse. All right, this hyperinflation or all these different things that are taking place is going to cause the economy to collapse. All right. It says inflation or fear of it is out of control. It says gold is an inflation hedge. You see, gold is an inflation hedge, man. All right, when gold goes up, all right, when silver goes up, gold goes up. That is a sign of inflation. It says if it's 5,000, it says purchasing power of the dollar has fallen hard. You see. All right. It says prices of gold, energy, housing are already high or rising fast. All right. And that's what we're seeing. All right. We're seeing the prices of food. We're seeing the prices of housing go up. All right. Your bills. We're seeing all these things taking place. It says saving and cash are quietly being destroyed. Savings and cash are quietly being destroyed. It says even if official inflation numbers lie, gold tells the truth. There you go. All right. Proverbs 22:7 says the borrower is servant to the lender. All right. This is central banks are panicking quietly. It says gold at 5,000 would almost certainly mean central banks are buying gold heavily. All right, heavily. All right. You see, some countries are de-dollarizing. All right, because the dollar has no more value, man. All right. You see some of these countries like BRICS. All right, and all these China and all these other countries are falling away from the dollar. All right, because the dollar really doesn't have any value. All right, it says the dollar role as the world's reserve currency is weakening. You see, and that's what we're seeing. All right, we're seeing de-dollarization, man. We're seeing more and more countries pulling away from this dollar. All right, we see the currency, being weakened. All right, eventually to the point where they're gonna have to bring in that MOTB. They're going to have to do that great reset and bring in that MOTB according to the book of Revelations 13 and 16. It says this doesn't mean the dollar is gone overnight, but it does mean dominance is cracking. All right, the dominance of this dollar is cracking. That's what we're seeing. All right. It says bond markets are breaking. It says gold explodes upward when bonds are no longer trusted. Governments can't service debt, all right, without printing. You see? All right. America's in debt, man. All right. That thick clay. All right. Habakkuk 2. It tells you that thick clay, man. America's in debt, but yet they're still printing out more and more money. All right. When they are in debt. It says interest rates and debt collide. All right. It says at 5,000. It says at 5,000 gold. Pension funds are stressed. Government borrowings costs are dangerous. Financial repression is likely. Capital controls, forced buying of bonds. Um, it says it often precedes social and political instability. Historically, extreme gold moves show up before currency crisis. You see the collapse of the dollar. All right, banking restrictions. All right, because it's gonna come a time, man, when you're not gonna even be able to, withdraw money from out of your bank. All right, because America's gonna, the dollar collapsed. All right, that great reset. It says civil unrest, emergency economic measures. It says no immediate collapse, but late stage empire behavior. It says take heed, Luke 12:15. Take heed, a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of things. All right. So it says here 6. What it does not automatically mean. It says not instant apocalypse. Not everyone becomes poor overnight. Not that gold makes you rich. It preserves value. It doesn't create wealth. All right. Your money buys much less than it used to. Right. Summary. It says a simple summary. It says if gold is 5,000 an ounce, it says the currency is sick. Debt has reached an unsustainable level. You see, debt, man. I believe Babylon is like over 40 trillion in debt. All right. It says trust in institutions is fading. People are running to real assets. It says the system is in late innings, not early ones. All right. So, it just goes to show you, man, that Babylon is through, man. All right. The dollar is collapsing. All right. Nobody wants to deal with the dollar anymore, man. The dollar has no value. All the value is in gold, man, in gold and silver. All right. So, with that being said, man, let's get into some scriptures real quick. All right, Salakia. Let's get the book of what is it? Jeremiah 51. It says this is Jeremiah 51. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone to his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto the heavens and is lifted up even to the skies. All right. So Babylon. There's no bringing back Babylon, man. Babylon is on a decay right now. All right. Babylon is on its way out. All right. You see. And because of her sins, man, her sins has reached up into the heavens. All right, her sins have reached up into the heavens, or therefore Yahweh Bashim Shai is judging this place, man. All right, let's get the book of what is it? Isaiah. What is it? 30 and. Judah's warned against Egyptians' alliance. Okay, let me see. I believe is 13. All right, there you go. This is Isaiah 30 in verse 13. It says, therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. All right. Now let's read it in the NOT. It says calamity will come upon you suddenly. All right. So it's gonna come suddenly, like a bulging wall that bursts and falls in an instant. it will collapse and come crashing down, man. All right, it's going to collapse and come crashing down. All right, what does the scripture say? Peace and safety. All right, which we'll get that First Thessalonians. We'll get that First Thessalonians. Or is it Second Thessalonians? Is it First Thessalonians 5:3? Yeah. All right. This First Thessalonians 5:3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." All right. So people are in that peace and safety. All right, and that sudden destruction is going to come upon them, man. You know that when that dollar collapses, man, when this economy collapses and that dollar is done with, it's going to hit the people hard, man. All right, it's going to hit the people hard because you're going to see a lot more you're going to see, a lot more inflation, hyperinflation. All right, it's going to get to the point to where, you're going to be paying $80 for a damn loaf of bread. All right, things are finna get real heavy and real hectic out here, man. All right, real hectic out here, man. But you need, you need that the spirit of Yahweh Shai to be with you in order to get through those times. All right. It says in the NLT, when people are saying everything is peaceful, right, and that's the minds of these Babylonians, man. All right, and that's what Esau Edom. That's the type of spirit that he's throwing out there to these people. All right, that everything is peaceful and secure when disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. You see, so there ain't gonna be no way around it, man. There's gonna be no escape from this, man. All right, ultimately, man, this is the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, and there's no healing this place. Okay, this place is through. This place is through, man. What is it, Isaiah? What is it, 47 in verse 11? It says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee." It says, "Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly." There we go. We just read that. All right. They shall say peace and safety. All right, but destruction cometh suddenly. All right, roughly paraphrasing. It says, "Shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." All right, and this is an NLT. It says, "So disaster will overtake you." All right, and you won't be able to charm it away. There you go. It says calamity, all right, will fall upon you. You see that there goes that calamity. All right. Matter of fact, oops, Slakia. It says calamity will fall upon you. It says, and you won't be able to buy your way out. It says, and catastrophe will strike you suddenly. It says one for which you are not prepared. All right, so the people are not going to be prepared, man, for this sudden fall of Babylon, man. All right, they're not going to be prepared for this calamity. All right, the people are asleep. All right, especially with all these different distractions going on, man. All right, they got the spirit of slumber. All right, as it talks about, I believe in the book of Romans, man. All right, is it Romans 11? It talks about they got that spirit of slumber. All right, so these people, man, these Babylonians, man, they're Yahweh Bashim Shai had blinded them, man. All right, and it's gonna come upon it's gonna come upon them. All right, as a thief in the night. All right, and they're not gonna know what's going on. All right, so Yahweh Bashim Shai is getting ready to destroy this place, man. All right, what's that scripture? I believe it's in Ezekiel. I think it's cast their silver. I know it's in Ezekiel. Yeah, Ezekiel 7 and 9. All right, this is Ezekiel 7 and 19. It says, "They shall cast the silver in the streets, and the gold shall be removed. All right, the silver and their gold should not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath. All right, and we just read that in the book of Proverbs 11. All right, it says in the day of wrath of Yahweh Shemau Shai, they shall not satisfy. It says they shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. All right, it is a stumbling block of their iniquity, man. All right, you see. So, pretty much what it's saying, man, the dollar, pretty much it's not going to have no value, man. All right. The dollar is not going to have any value. All right. It's going to be worthless. All right. At some point. All right. This is what it says in NOT. It says they will throw their money in the streets, tossing it out like worthless trash. You see? Because the money's not going to have any value, man. All right. So with that gold going up, all right, it's going to de-dollarize, all right, that dollar. All right. So that the dollar is going to lose value. All right. So these other countries are just going to, toss this money, it's going to be worthless to them. All right. Because it's not going to have any type of value. And it says their silver and gold won't save them on the day of Yahweh Shemau Shai's anger. It says it will neither satisfy nor feed them, for the greed can only trip them up. All right. The greed can only trip them up, man. All right. That's why it says in the book of Habakkuk 2 and 6 through 7, it says, woe to them that ladeth up clay, man, that ladeth up death. All right. Because, it's going to be a stumbling block unto them. All right. Because, it's, that debt is going to lead to economic collapse, man. All right. That's what it's going to lead up to. So that's how it's going to be a stumbling block unto the wicked, man. All right. I got one more scripture in mind. What is it? Zephaniah 1, verse. All right, let me Zephaniah. All right, this is Zephaniah 1 and verse 10, and it said, it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh, all right, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, all right, and it says, and in howling from the second, and a great crashing, all right, from the hills. It says, how ye inhabitants of Maktish, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. All right, so that's eventually what's going to happen. All right, though all the merchants, the traders, all them, they're going to be cut off, man, because the dollar is going to be be through. All right, that great crash is coming, man. All right, that economic crash is coming. All right, so these merchants, these traders, all right, these the dollar is just not going to have any value, man. All right, that's what's getting ready to take place here in Babylon the Great. All right, so I just pray, this lesson was edifying, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. And, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. And once again, double honors to our elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone who teach and rule well. This is Brother Nabal. Until the next lesson, Shalom, Shalom.